As we've now entered a new year and essentially a new phase for this channel and the genre, I really wanted to take the time to put an emphasis not only on the current monster taming titles that we already know and are excited for, but also some new monster taming titles that, while in early development, deserve some recognition and attention. Today's video is going to be uncovering 5 upcoming monster taming games that you probably have never heard of. Now, I'd like to see in the comments who actually has heard of all 5 games, or if you've heard of one or more, also let me know, because I think that the vast majority of people have never heard of these games, and this included myself for quite some time. Anyways, with all that said, make sure to sit back, relax, and let's dig up some hidden gems. Alright, so first up on our list is definitely more of a monster battler, but nevertheless fits right under the monster taming umbrella, that being Tamers Arena, a game akin to something like Pokemon Stadium or Pokemon Showdown, where the entire focus of the game is competitive battling, and in this case, on the go, because this is a title being developed for Android and iOS. Initially, this project was planned as a full RPG and went by the name Tamers Dawn, however, it has since shifted onto a battle-centric focus. Who knows, maybe if the game does really well, we will see a full-scale RPG in the future, but the dev has stated for time and resources, they'd be better situated making a battle-focused title, at least for now. Either way, it is very aesthetically pleasing, and I'm pretty excited to see how it develops. Also, keep in mind that we don't know too much about it other than what we see in this trailer you're seeing now. Next up, we have a game that you may have heard of if you've been following Monster Tamer news and really paying attention the last couple weeks, that being Trails of Sunder, a monster taming RPG inspired by both the Elder Scroll franchise and, of course, the Pokemon franchise. This game is also pretty early development, but despite that, is one of the best pixel art titles right now in my opinion. Definitely top 5 for pixel art, no questions asked. Anyways, what we do know about the game is that the game's battle system does feature 2-on-2 turn-based battles. I'm not sure if it's exclusively 2v2, but from this battle showcase, we do see doubles. We also see that the monsters attack instantly in order, sort of like Digimon Cyber Sleuth or Cirillum. But other than that, we don't know a whole lot about the game just yet because there isn't really a compendium of the game's planned features and such. But we do know that the dev wants to try to get the game on Switch at some point, and I'm sure we'll get a better idea of what exactly is going to happen as time moves forward because, again, very early development. The next game on this list definitely has a bit of a larger following than others, but even still, I don't think it's quite made the rounds in the monster taming scene just yet, and that's Nanokin, a 2.5D robot taming JRPG adventure platforming hybrid game with tactical grid-based combat. That was a mouthful. But the game actually has a pretty interesting system when it comes to how you obtain these robots. Basically, you can find various parts and essentially create them through crafting. The game is also promising a deep storyline with a cinematic narrative, all taking place on a giant cyberpunk-esque theme park where you can presumably traverse different worlds. This sort of gives me like Mario 64 meets Metabots type vibes, and I'm seriously all about it. Next, we have another monster taming RPG that is turn-based, this time in the form of Monster Haven, a game that will seemingly be in the same vein as something like Pokemon, but much like the other titles, is early development, and we don't have a whole lot of information about the game itself. But from what we do know, the game will feature overworld battles, which I think is pretty cool. So instead of transitioning into a battle sequence, your battles take place right there on screen, making for a smoother flow of combat to non-combat and vice versa. We also know that the game will have character customization and following companions as well, so that's always nice. Alright, so last but not least is a monster taming game that I did cover, but only in one video so far, so some of you might have seen it if you watched it, but my guess is, as of the time of recording, most have not, that being Mirrored Soul, a Shin Megami Tensei inspired old school RPG title. In this game, you play as a detective whom finds themselves in a strange land beyond a mirror, and in this world, monsters are tamed and used for battle. The game's battle screen definitely gives me those old school DDS Megami Tensei vibes, and the game has a few key features planned that I think a lot of people will be quite happy about. First, there's going to be over 200 monsters present within the game. We also have monster fusion and plenty of optional content, which in my opinion is definitely always nice in any game because side quests are sexy. But yeah, guys, that was a quick video going over 5 monster taming games that I think most of you haven't heard of just yet, and do note that I will be linking all relevant social media, including Twitter pages and Discord servers for those that apply, in the description below, so definitely follow up with any of these titles should they interest you. All 5 of these games will be added to our weekly Monster Tamer news cycle, so whenever any of them have updates, big or small, I'll be covering them there. And if you want to stay up to date on all of these games and a ton more, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel because I put out new monster taming videos every single day. Other than that, I did want to just say that 2022 is definitely going to be a big year for both the genre and the channel, much like last. And this year, I definitely want to expand our library, and even during the slower periods of news developments, I'd like to explore some of the classic monster taming games in general that came out before we started this sort of journey back in 2019. Anyways, all of this is to say expect more of what you already came here for and new types of content beyond that. Just wanted to say special thanks to our patrons, especially our highest tier backers, Jim Hamilton and StealCase. And until next time, peace.